All right, family, let's talk about a woman who doesn't get nearly enough credit for shaping the music industry as we know it. When we think about rock and roll, names like Elvis, Chuck Berry, and Little Richard come up, right? But let me put you up on a woman who laid the foundation for them all. Her name, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. She wasn't just a singer. She wasn't just a guitarist. She was a force, a game changer. Now, as a fellow female guitar player, it's always good to see another woman shine on an instrument that's traditionally for a man. And let's be real, if she were a man, especially a white man, her name will be in every single history book as the pioneer of rock and roll. But because she was a black woman in the 30s and 40s, her legacy got buried. Well, not today. Now picture this. It's the 1930s. Gospel is sacred. It stays in the church, played a traditional way. But Rosetta, she was not interested in fitting in that mold. She picked up that electric guitar and started playing like nobody else. She mixed gospel with blues, jazz, and swing. She created a sound that had never been heard before. She was strumming that guitar with power, with soul, with boldness, and guess who was watching? The so-called fathers of rock and roll. Elvis? Yep, he was inspired by her. Chuck Berry? Yep, he studied her moves. Little Richard? He straight up said he got his whole style from watching Sister Rosetta Tharpe. She was born in 1915 in a cotton plant in Arkansas. Rosetta was a prodigy. By the time she was a teenager, she was traveling the country, wowing audiences with her electric guitar skills. And this wasn't a time when women, especially black women, were even seen as instrumentalists. But Rosetta didn't care. She played anyway. In 1938, she did something unheard of. She took gospel music out of the church and onto the nightclub stage. Ooh-wee, that was scandalous back then. But guess what? People loved it, y'all. She was a superstar. She was the first gospel artist to record for a major record label. That's huge. The first to break barriers between gospel and secular music. And let's talk about how she stayed ahead of her time. In 1944, she recorded a song called Strange Things Happening Every Day, which became the first gospel song to cross over onto the R&B charts. A direct blueprint for rock and roll. Now, did she get the credit she deserved? Of course not, because history has a way of erasing black women's contributions, especially when they are way too powerful and way too influential. But make no mistakes, Sister Rosetta Tharpe was the blueprint. In 2018, long overdue, she was finally inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But let's be clear, y'all, she didn't need their validation. Rock and roll wouldn't even exist without her. So next time someone talks about rock and roll music and doesn't mention Sister Rosetta Tharpe, correct them, because we know the truth. Now, this is something that you have not heard in the history books. So drop a black fist in the comments and share with somebody who needs to hear this Black History gem.